Welcome to another episode of The Flank. All right, I'm joined by Slayer, Mr. Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. We're joined by Chris Duarte, a.k.a. Parasite, and of course, the one and only Mr. Benjay Naseem. And today, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the roster talk, we will be giving away some awards. It is the Flank Awards ceremony. We're doing it in the off-season. All right, we finally got everything going, and listen, I think you guys will enjoy this, man, and we'll get a little bit of the award ceremony, and then we'll talk a little bit of rosters, but how you guys doing, man? Slayer, I heard you got arrested in GTA, you got a whole court case and everything.
I do have a court case, but listen, Tom, I am as innocent as it gets. Step one, no Miranda rights were read to the Slayer.
You already won. You already won.
Not a single Miranda right was read. Not even a sentence or a word.
Hey, Slayer,
Secondly, the cops rammed the vehicle and caused a one shot only accidental discharge. One round. And then 10 seconds goes by. There was no, subsequent rounds fired. So, there was not an intent to shoot at the police. And it happened because they rammed it and caused an accidental discharge. If you simulate that in real life, that's happening 9 times out of 10. Anyway, so that's step 2. And yeah, the court case is going to happen in we're going to get out.
Well, listen, Slay, I wish you the best of luck. I'll be there supporting you, all right?
Appreciate it.
We also got Benjay Naseem. How you doing, Ben? You doing all right?
I'm doing good, Tom. You and I were streaming this afternoon, having a good time. Been on that content grind, but honestly, Roster Mania has been resident sleeper, so I'm waiting for things to kick up.
Of course, and of course, we got the one and only, the world champ, a legend, a staple to the Call of Duty scene. Yo, Chris, how you feeling, my guy? How's everything going?
Good. I've been talking to teams and stuff. As you know, I'm looking to become a coach in the COD League. So just waiting to hear back from a couple parties. But been pretty good, man.
Yeah, well, listen, man, we all rooting for you. We hope to see you land that coaching gig. I think that'd be really cool for you. I know it's something you really want to do and something you want to dedicate yourself to. So, we'll kind of see how that all plays and kind of how it all unfolds. But in the meantime, listen, we got some awards to give away here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few awards. I can name them all for you guys. But to start off with, we got the Rookie of the Year. That's one of the awards that we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. This is my first time using studio mode. This thing's pretty cool. But we got the Rookie of the Year. We got Most Improved Player. We have the Best Mid-Season Roster Move, the Best Roster Move overall, Best Highlight Play, Best Entrance, and Best Guest of the Year. And then after that, and after we give away our awards, we will turn it over and we will go over and talk about some of these rosters. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I think we get right into it. What's so funny, Chris?
The chat's going crazy because ads started playing on stream, and I even got him too. I'm really just like,
no way. Well, listen, guys, sometimes you gotta deal what you gotta deal with. Subscribers do not get any ads, folks. They do not get any ads. But yeah, that is weird. There's this new Twitch incentive thing, and it's supposed to be 3 ads every hour, but people have been going crazy, so we have to figure that out. But well, actually, this hasn't happened in a while, so yeah, no, we'll play it out a little bit. They'll come back, but yeah, we got some awards, and it took us a while to come up with these. I feel like we're kind of going back and forth on some of these, huh? We're a little indecisive on a few of them, but there was also a few that we just got right away. There was some that we got instantly. But before we get into it, also, I'm hearing birds or something in my ear. What the? Do you guys hear that? I don't know what that is. It sounds like somebody's playing a game or something. I'm hearing birds, but...
You're hearing birds?
I'm hearing birds.
I think you're getting hit with the MC poke.
Is he hitting me with some shit?
He's going to be getting hit with the MC Whisper.
Jesus Christ, I'm hearing something here.
I'm not hearing it, bro.
Maybe. Okay, but listen, let's get right into it, man. I think we swap on over. All right, we got some awards. Which one do you want to do first, guys? Which award do you want to do first?
Rookie of the Year, since it's pretty straightforward.
Bro, I'm down to do Rookie of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, I want you guys to decide who you think the Rookie of the Year is going to be. This one might be self-explanatory, but ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only AG. I think we all this was the easiest one to do. This was the easiest one. Yeah. I feel like AG's deserved it. He got it this year, obviously, with the CDL, and obviously he's getting it right now with the Flank. And I think it's well deserved. I think AG's an animal. I think he really showed out this year. I think in the offseason, a lot of teams wanted him. A lot of players were talking to him, and I think it's well warranted. What do you guys think? Ben, Chris, Pat, anything? Hello?
I think this was a slam dunk easy one. I mean, he had a stellar rookie season. Wait for him to follow it up next year and see if Seattle can improve on their good placing in champ.
He could potentially pull the simp where he literally was rookie of the year and like MVP almost. Like he was that good this year. So it wasn't even close.
Yeah, no.
I think he should have been in the running for sure over Kenny, but I don't think he would have beat out Sell.
You don't think so?
Nah, Sell just had too good of a year, dude.
Yeah, nah. Sell, he was so consistent from start to finish, you know, so it would have been tough. But I mean, he definitely rookie of the year without a doubt. The fact that it was his rookie year is just super impressive. Really impressive. Got to give it to him. Shout out to AG, man. Congratulations to him. Let's close the curtains. Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next award that we will be giving away is the best roster move. Now, this is not the best midseason roster move. We have two. We have a preseason roster move, and we have a mid-season roster move. I want all of you guys to put your hands together because the winner of best roster move goes to Seattle once again, picking up Pred. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys must have forgot that he's a rookie because you guys weren't even guessing Pred. You weren't even guessing it, man. Unbelievable. I think, listen, I know, I know it's back-to-back Pred, right? Seattle, people probably like, oh, boring, but it's well-deserved. I think Pred was such a great pickup for Seattle. I feel like there's a lot of different pickups that we probably could have went with. People were saying we should have went with Envoy. They're a little disappointed we didn't go with Envoy.
I mean, there's runners-up for sure. There was runner-up, like definitely. Yeah. Like Envoy was definitely in the running for that. Or Envoy at 100T was definitely in the running. Yeah. But I think, I mean, for you to pick up the rookie of the year, like out of nowhere, especially coming from down under, and for him to have as good of a season he did, like I think it was just the best pickup. Period.
Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, that was me. But not only is Pred from down under, Seattle Surge was coming from down under as well. They were horrible, son.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. They came from the dumps, Chris. They came from the dumps, Chris.
Yeah. You know? They needed them. They need them. Like they made them into a competitive. I mean, granted, the rest of the guys deserve some love too. They turned it around this season. Like this guy was obviously a catalyst. This guy was by far the best submachine gun like player this year.
I think the big Kenny started consistency.
Like, yeah, he was really, really good.
I mean, Chris, like I think his consistency is what stands out. It wasn't like he had highlight event here fell off. Like his team fell off. But as far as his individual performance goes, it was like he got better almost as the year went on. Yeah. And you can't say that for a lot of players.
Listen, for me, it was just because of how low Seattle was the first couple of years. I just felt like they had a huge turnaround. I thought they played great this year. I thought Pred was a big reason for that. Could definitely see an argument for Envoy, for a lot of people that were erupting in Envoy chants. But yeah, I could see an argument for that. But that was our best roster move. Go ahead, Ben.
They also made this pickup like literally before the offseason last year. Like they had made this connect and locked in Pred before even, all these other roster moves were in the mix.
Yep.
So.
Yep, and then the next one we're going to is the best mid-season roster move. So this happened in the middle of the season. This was a pickup that personally I didn't think was gonna make that much of an imprint on the CDL, but he sure did, and he came back stronger than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the motherfucking fucking dog. It's Kismet, the bulldog in the building. Hey.
Yeah, I mean this
guy's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I mean, this is part of their big run to qualify for champs. I think Kiz was probably their best player, probably a majority of Major Four, and is now a foundational piece, I think, for New York to build upon. So what a great move out of the New York team that definitely had their ups and downs. They also won an event, right? They picked him up and won.
They won the Pro-Am.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think the bottom line here is he just turned this team around, right? Like this team was literally in the dumps, and so he came in. I think culture shocked. I think especially Krim, right? Like.
Yeah.
You heard Krim say a lot. Like Kismet was literally like telling Krim shit Krim didn't know. So, I think he was the biggest piece for this team. And what basically caused the second half of their year to be successful.
I think you got to give some credit to Paul as well. I think they came as a package, didn't they? Come together to that team at the same time.
I don't
remember. Were they there at the same time, or did Kismet get picked up late?
No, Paul came first.
Ooh, okay. Well, never mind. But either way, I think just in general, New York made some good roster moves towards the tail end. They finally caved and changed their roster. They were waiting way too long to do so, but it paid off in dividends. They obviously got to make the run at champs, and they made that historical run at their major. So yeah, W roster move towards the midseason or the
that boy got that dog in him.
Yeah, no, I just like how he took like a leadership role on the team, like being that new guy on the team. He's been around, he's been in the scene, he knows a lot of the players, and I feel like he came in and just made a statement and really showed how much he meant to that NYSL roster. So congratulations to the one and only, the Bulldog, Mr. Kismet.
I also want to give a shout out to Shane. I think Shane was like a runner up for me that wasn't a player. And you kind of saw that in the 0 to 100. Like, I think Shane was a big culture shock for that LAT team. So I do want to give a shout out to him as a runner up for a midseason roster move.
And then next on up, we have the most improved player, the player that we thought at the end of this year just out of nowhere, just kicked up, took care of business, did what they had to do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the one and only Kenny. Unbelievable. This guy, he moves back to a submachine gun. He should have been there for fucking years. He should have been there for years, this guy. I don't know why they ended up moving him to the AR. I'm not really too sure what was going on with that. He is a very good AR player, but I think once he went to the submachine gun role, it really showed how much of an impact he actually can make.
I think we got to give him most improved, but dumbest 3-year decision ever under it. Because I think he never would have had to improve if he stayed on a damn sub.
Yeah, well, listen, I would have liked to see him stay in a sub as well, but, you know, it's hard when you're a good AR and you're a good sub, but I just always feel like when you have the talent, you might as well run the gun where you could be the most impactful, you know? But Ben and Chris, I'll kind of let you guys say a few things. Show Kenny some love.
Kenny was disgusting towards the tail end. He turned it all the way around. I can't give this guy enough credit. Like I said, this guy's got to pay some reparations to his teammate because, god damn, man, he should have been running this sub for like since he kept doing it in World War II. Like he was by far the best player in that game as a submachine gun, and then swapped it all around in Black Ops 4, and then continued that trend. I don't really know where the decision was. But yeah, guy's gross to the sub. He should never ever make that decision ever again.
I agree. Ben, anything?
No, I think they covered everything. Congrats to Kenny, and excited to see what Thieves can do. Maybe get a back-to-back here.
Oh, next award. We got 3 more awards left. We're actually going to show a couple clips for these next 2 awards. The next award that we have up next is the best highlight of the year. So what was that best play? What was the play where everybody's like, man, this guy can play? I thought this was a great clip. I think we all pretty much agreed on this clip. We thought because of the team this guy was playing, because of the things he was doing, ladies and gentlemen, making it for the 3rd time on the list. Give it up for Pred, a.k.a. AG.
Fighting for this scrap. They want to go for it. It's been contested for the most part. They have the time. They've got to get the kill up front. Mac going rotation. Mac able to get in. Now big one-on-one on the other side of it. It's going to be a BC that's there. But it's
that was different.
To get the kill. Now, JD for Seattle. Mac going nuts. And it's 4 in a row before he drops. A teammate comes in. Another one. Only down to Pred.
Holy hell.
Continues to be huge. Just a couple of points.
Jesus.
Can somebody get a trade?
Somebody get this guy. Look at him flexing. Look at him go.
Oh. Here's hype.
Insane.
It was a great play, and obviously tough one for Seattle. They ended up winning this series, but bro, Pred was doing crazy stuff in Hardpoint this whole weekend. It's probably too many clips to pick, but this is probably the most memorable. So shout out to Pred for winning best play of the season.
Nah, I just feel like because of who he was playing and because of just where it happened and when it happened in the tournament, the crowd erupting, just the whole 9 yards. That clip was unbelievable. I think.
Yeah, big plays at champs are worth like 2 times the amount of big plays like a regular major. So
I give a pat on
What
that.
factored into this decision?
Yup, and then after that, first of all, congratulations to Pred, because this guy's all over the place. Rookie of the year, fucking days, highlights. I mean, this guy, he had a standout year. So I really look forward to see what he could do in MW too. But heading over, we got a couple more left to go. Next, we will be doing best entrance, best walkout this year. We've had many walkouts. All right, some of them have been fucking terrible. Some of them have been absolutely incredible. But I think this one was unanimous. I mean, I just don't know how you can top, ladies and gentlemen.
This one had to be
the winner of the best entrance, the best walkout of this year in the CDL goes to Mr. Crimsix fucking Porter. Let's tune in.
The Pred screen's up. You can't see it.
Where's Crim?
I got you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Hold up. Where's the man?
Get a Len production in the chat.
Len production.
We gotta summon Crim. Everyone, help me strike the pose. Get wide. Put those arms out in the air. Oh, hold up. I think I'm feeling it. Something's happening right now.
Bro, this is ridiculous, bro.
The fans,
Bro, this is unbelievable. This is unfucking believable. Look at this.
The Thieves reaction was comedy in the Inside the Comms video.
Bro. No way. Imagine playing him and you're sitting on stage watching that live.
Your New York subliners.
He chucks the hat, bro. It's everything,
Oh
man.
man, that's fucking Ian Porter, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything that comes close to that you guys can remember? Anything at all?
I think the Kylo Ken, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think the Crim one could be top, bro.
Yeah, no, the Kylo Ken one actually was a really good one. That was actually a good one for sure. But listen, guys, that is going to do it for all those awards. But before we start talking about some of these rosters, we actually have one more award to give away, ladies and gentlemen.
This one was really hard, I think.
Really? Because I thought this one was easy. I thought it was easy.
Well, apparently not in our DM chat because we couldn't figure out this one.
No.
Oh no! I didn't know what award you're talking about.
No. This is the last award. This is the last award that we are giving out. We're not giving.
I got confused which award we're talking about.
We didn't get the graphic made for that other award because we couldn't agree on it. We'll talk about that after. We'll talk about that.
Tom. We have one more.
Which one? I don't got that one.
It's there.
Yeah, it's the one you're talking about, the series one.
No. Check the chat.
No. We're not doing that one, Pat. We're not doing that one.
What? We're not doing that one?
Yeah. No, we're not doing that one, Pat. We're not doing that one. We'll do that. We'll show it anyway. We can let the chat decide for the.
We're gonna have to do that one, Tom.
But we'll do it at the end of the show. We'll do it at the end of the show, Pat. All right, we'll do it at the end of the show. But ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. All right. For the one and only, the best guest of the year. This is this one to
this
me.
One was definitely unanimous, bro.
I thought this one was pretty easy for me. I felt like this person came on, no matter what the circumstances were. He always came in here with positive energy. He's always gave great input to the show. He's always gave great entertainment to the show.
He's always making it rain, Tom.
He's always himself at all cost. I just feel like this guy right here, man, made the show. He elevated the show.
Can I introduce him?
Yeah, Pat. You might need to introduce him. Yup.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best flank guest, Mr. Don.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Donnie? How do you feel?
Make it rain.
How do you feel? You gonna copyright strike me if I play the song?
No. You can play it. Go ahead.
Oh, we might need to play it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I like that graphic,
We might, yeah. Nah, that's a great. Yeah, we got the graphics made.
Look at the headshot they got of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the one and only.
Everything. That's the album cover. No bullshit.
Mr. Donnie Temp with his new hit single, Rain. Coming at you live here on the flank. Make some fucking noise.
Yes, sir.
Don, how do you feel, man? Talk to me.
It's humbling. I feel good. I had a great time coming on the show, especially the live shows. Like one of my favorite shows was when we were in Toronto.
Yup.
That setup was lit. We were just vibing. We got the Casamigos, you know. It was just a great time.
Yeah, bro.
The ones at Chance were also dope too. The in-person ones were definitely really fun. Even the ones at home, you know. It's always just fun. It's just very fun and entertaining. So I'm always having a good time on it. That's why I always continue to come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like you've done such a great job coming on, and you also, like you said, came to the ones in person, man. And I feel like those are always really cool. You know, when somebody shows out and comes through in person. That meant a lot to me and everybody else here in the flank, you know, that does a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yes, sir.
We love
yes,
that
sir.
you came on. So thank you for being a part of the show, Don. It was a pleasure to have you, and we would hope to have you on the show a lot more in the future.
Come on, man. You know I'm always here.
I don't know what happened to the last guest of the year. He won the award last year, and he didn't come on the show. We gave it a show 1 2 times. He got complacent. He won the award last year, and then he got complacent, this guy.
He abandoned the city, Tom. He abandoned the city.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what the hell was going
He
on
also got
there.
hit with relationship cheese, too.
That's true.
Yeah, he did get hit with some cheese. He did get hit with a little bit of cheese, but you know, that's for something he needs to talk about. You know, but listen, Don, you're more than welcome to stay with us on the show. We're gonna just talk some of these rosters, bro.
Especially talk a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I say we get right into it. Thank you to everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the award. Listen, guys, I know it's like, you know, we don't got the best production here. It's just a little fun thing to do. You know, we thought it'd be fun. I thought it'd be fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Who made the graphics, by the way? Who made all the graphics? You guys know?
I want to say it had to be Jaden.
I think it was Jaden, right? I think it was Jaden.
I want to say
sure
it was.
Jaden, Tom.
Yeah, no. Huge shout out to Jaden, man. He's the one who made all the graphics. It was Raw.
It might have been Raw. It might have been Raw. Yeah, Raw.
Bro, Raw is just unbelievable. This guy's been in the space for such a long time. Bro, this guy Raw was making Twitter headers to fucking a decade ago. And now to just see where he's come now. He's been working with 100 Thieves, been working with us, and he's been doing a lot of great work. Same with Jaden. Both of them have been doing a great job. So shout out to my man Raw and Jaden. All right.
Shout out to Wheel, by the way, too. Also making the videos, if you guys have seen throughout the season. Those meme videos, my boy Wheel to Wheel has been making those, so shout out him.
Yep. Shout out to him. And listen, I'm down to get into it. I got the article pulled up. We can skip by the LA Thieves. Optic Texas Seattle
Skip by all the ones
here.
not changing, yeah.
Minnesota Rocker, we can start with them. It looks like the team's going to be Cammy Bance, Attach, and Afro. I mean, overall, what do you guys think? Pal, I'll kick it off for you.
I mean, look, I think this is an upgrade for Rocker, right? Like, at the end of the day, I think this is a better Rocker team than they had last year or even the year before. The weird thing for me, though, of this roster, I feel like, you know, some of these players could have potentially had a better team. You know, when I look at this team, I just see basically the Toronto foundation. I see Afro replacing Kleenex, and I see Attach replacing Insight. Like, to me, it's the exact same formula that Toronto's been running with these last few years. I guess it's a question of, like, is Afro and Attach better than Kleenex and Insight in your mind? That's kind of how I look at this. And right now, I'm probably going to say that I give the edge to Kleenex and Insight. But I think this team is a good team. I think this was a win off season for the Rocker, and yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out next year.
Pat, would you say that Toronto Ultra are going to be our 2023 CDL champions?
Absolutely, Ben.
Oh God, here we go again.
Listen.
Oh Jesus.
We'll get there when we go through the roster.
Yeah, they do look good though. The new Toronto looks good.
I'm really good with three of them. We'll get there, though. We'll get there.
I agree with Pat. I really like, if you're in Minnesota, first off, they spent a pretty penny to get this team. Like, if you think with salaries, buyouts, they're definitely over $1 million to put the squad together, probably closer to 1.5 than 1. So a lot of money, a lot of pressure on this team. I think to get results early. Again, the biggest thing I'm looking for in Minnesota early is to see if this team can be a good, dominant hardpoint team. That's what they've been missing the last couple of years whilst being an elite S&D squad. They can figure it out. This team will make some waves and be making it deep on Sundays at some of these tournaments.
Yeah, I think this is a good team, but to me it's just a weird mix of players that I never thought I'd see teaming together. But on paper, just talent wise, it looks really good. If this actually ends up being the team, I'm interested to see how they put it together. They got Afro, who's disgusting. Cammy, who I think he had a slow year in Vanguard, but I think he picked it up towards the end. And I think Ben or Bance, he was kind of sleeper in Vanguard. Like he was a lot of people slept on him. He played pretty good in my opinion in a lot of their series and had some like very standout moments. Still a big fan of Ben. And then obviously you got Attach, who just played lights out this entire year on an individual level.
Do you think they're better than the old Toronto? Like, do you like? To me, it's literally a carbon copy. Like,
I don't know. Like, I don't think. I think potential wise, they're probably similar. It's kind of hard to tell because, bro, in Cold War, like that team was so good. Like, they were the second best team. Like,
well,
in this game, they were like it could have just been like a bad year. I don't know.
Do you think Afro is better than Kleenex? I personally don't. I think Kleenex ceiling is higher.
No.
And like an Insight and Attach, I mean, I could go either way there. They're both top tier ARs, but I would have them more even kill. So I kind of see it as a downgrade for the Toronto team, like from the Toronto team. I mean, but like still a win for Rocker. That's like why it's kind of a weird roster.
It's definitely a W for a Rocker, but I'm more so saying like, bro, it's like one team was just better at Cold War and one team looks like it's just a better Vanguard team. Like it can go either way, but I don't know. I feel like there could have been some better rosters built around some of these players potentially, but it didn't work out that way. But I mean, good on Minnesota, I guess.
They also got a sub coming in, Fame. He's going to be their substitute, what it looks like for the roster, which I feel like is a good sub to have. I know I've heard a little bit about him, but at least it's somebody who's actually playing the game, and it's not a coach or somebody, you know. And maybe we could see him get in there sometime.
He was good in Challengers. He was pretty good.
He was good.
Yeah, he was pretty good in MW and Cold War. In this game, he was like really good. So,
Don, you said he was congrats,
good, Don? Congrats to him for.
Yeah, Fame was pretty good. My only thing with this team is I just wonder how like it's gonna mesh. I don't know if Dylan's ever played with any foreign players or European players. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to see how like they mesh chemistry wise. Like I think the players, they have enough talent. The players are good. They have good S&D players. Good hardpoint players. I just think I don't know. There's just
the upside for Dylan is the way they call out sounds like a normal, like what he's used to, bro. They talk very slow, even kill. Like he won't have like a language issue of understanding him. So
yeah, like
the only
the accent is like so hard on some players. Like Maddie, right? Like Maddie and Trey have pretty hard accents, but I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay.
I think they'll be okay.
And knowing Dill's personality, I think they'll be a vibey squad.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just think the biggest thing, Tom, with this team is that, again, big money squad, big money expectations. I think for this team, they're going to be one of the teams that people will be looking forward to the first event to place well. And if they get kind of a average or below average placing, like I think the pressure will be on a little bit. Quicker on that team compared to some of the other rosters we're going to talk about here very soon.
Yeah, I'm just going down the list here. I want to talk about this one a little bit. The Los Angeles Guerrillas. Hook, Neptune, Spart, and Arcities. Seems like LAG's kind of going with a similar roster they already had. They're just kind of swapping. They're putting Alec up top in that AR position, or I would say in the back. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about Alec coming in, being like that main AR role with Spart, Neptune, and Hook? Pat, we'll kick it off with you.
For a blockbuster move like this, for like Arcees being like a top 2 AR to just go to this team, honestly, it's so underwhelming for me. Like I feel like, Ben, we were talking about like the money being involved with some of these teams. Like, dude, this team could have done so much more. Like so much more. Obviously they want to stick with this trio of Kyler, Neptune, and Spart, which I mean, I guess, but like, dude, this team just got top 12. Like they just placed poorly all year long except for one event, and the only thing they swapped was Arcees in and Slasher out. So to me, I just don't see the upgrade. I don't see like a move here that makes sense to do this. I know they're wiping their coaching staff and getting a new one, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's still about your players. And I mean, to me, this move just doesn't make sense for anybody.
They wiped the whole coaching staff?
The whole coaching staff, yeah. Ricky went to GM.
Yeah,
wow.
Or team manager, whatever that means.
The one thing I will say, Pat, to counter your whole argument here, is we've already said that a lot of teams are holding on to their sub players. So even if they were to approach some of these teams looking to make upgrades in that department, those teams were probably not willing to do so. because I think out of the rumored teams, listen, out of the rumored teams, what like blockbuster SMGs are actually available?
Bro, we just saw Rocker buy two.
Yes, yeah.
LAG could have done that same thing.
No. They got one. They bought Afro out.
Either way, LAG could have got that same squad.
You're not listening.
No, I am. You're not making sense.
They got one blockbuster SMG. Bance is good, but he's not like a superstar caliber player if you're looking at making an upgrade there. So they got what? Afro.
And Neptune is?
And then I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying any of that. You're taking words that I'm not saying. I'm saying there's only one blockbuster SMG move. Everybody else is stuck on their teams. And some of those teams might not have been able to let go. The only other player that comes to mind is Standy. So when you're looking at the players that they had available to try to pick up, they probably didn't have many options. So
that's cap. The rumor of that trio was trying to go to Florida originally. Like that trio wasn't even guaranteed on this roster. So this is obviously not their first pick.
It's not their first.
To me, they think what I'm saying makes sense.
They settled with this team.
That's what I said, though.
But that's an L offseason for me. If you settle with a team that just plays bottom tier pretty much the entire year aside from one like event, to me they lost the offseason. Like that's an offseason L to me. Like we talking about, like if we're ranking teams either getting like making good moves or bad moves, Rocker made a great move. LAG's move just doesn't make sense. They just settled.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I was saying. I wasn't saying that they won. I wasn't saying they lost. I'm saying...
But you were saying they didn't have better options, which they clearly did. They just couldn't make it happen.
I mean, it was basically a rat race between trying to get, the roster that you just talked about that is supposedly going to Toronto. Like somebody has to lose. I'm just saying...
There's still more players. If that trio would have broken up, they could have made a better team.
Name the SMGs that were realistically available.
Bro, I would take Standy over Neptune. There's a lot of players I would probably take over Neptune.
And then Afro. And then besides
there's a ton of players I would take over Neptune.
Could they get them?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
I think
there's still a bunch of bro. Like especially if they had Austin or even potentially bringing in Arcees. To be honest, I think this is the biggest L here is Arcees. This is what doesn't make any sense to me. Like I feel like he could have ended up on a way better team. Like,
but listen, Pat. Before we go there, we'll get there. We'll go there, Pat. Ben,
Asim. I would have took Asim over this squad.
Yeah, Pat. Hold on. Get your thoughts in, Pat. Ben, go ahead. You got the floor, Ben.
No, I agree with both. Both of them are kind of right. Like, I agree with what you're saying, Chris. Like, you need to keep Hook and Neptune as assets. But I agree with Pat. It's like they've tried to support Neptune Hook thing at the end of last season. And really, the key player that played very well in that squad was Austin. And I thought Austin played really well in that last series. The first year they played a Major 4 that they won, and then they got kind of choke slammed, finished top 8. Like, I don't know if Standy's like necessarily an upgrade on this team, but like they've got Asim on the roster. They could have gone with like an EU squad of youngsters. Like, I mean, I see LAG as a team that I think will be a very early change team. I really think that they need to have a conversation with someone like Asim and be like, is he willing to stick around as a hedge in case they want to make a change? But I agree. This team doesn't.
Asim better reply, you better make it rain for me to do that.
Yeah. I mean, Cole Havoc in the chat made a good point. Like, Havoc would have been a good add to the squad potentially.
Well, the thing is, though,
I would have took Havoc too.
The thing is, though, I'm pretty sure the players probably wanted to play together more than like
they do.
So we knew that this trio was trying to go to other orgs. Like that to me is the problem. This trio is not that impressive. I don't know why they want to stick together. I don't think there's a lot of stock in this trio personally or around the league, and so I just think like they're just middle of the pack ceiling.
I wonder if this was a clear-cut trade or if this was more so like, because there was rumors that core was going somewhere else, and then you kind of just assumed that Asim and Slasher were going to build a team, because I think that was probably what was originally going to happen. I wonder if they tried to like field a team and they just couldn't get anything that looked desirable, so they decided to go like part ways.
There's no way Alec joined this team without being cool with playing those players. I know Alec pretty well. Like
that's what I said though, Ben. Why? But that's kind of my point. Is why does like for Alec at least, like I would have tried. I mean, I know we talked about this offline a little bit, but like, dude, this is a roster for Alec where to me it's like he massively downgraded from what he's used to and potentially downgraded from what other options he could have joined. Like either being stuck on FaZe or joining another team and having a better roster. Like, yeah, he might have been friends with these guys, which is totally fair, but it's like for his career, I don't see this as like a good move for him at all.
Well, I mean, it's not how you start, it's how you finish with LAG, and this roster could be completely different. I agree with you, though. I think for Alec, like, this is a team that has struggled at times with fundamentals, and I feel like, you know, it's going to be a lot of work early to try and get these guys to be disciplined because they've really struggled with it last season. They threw away a lot of matches they should have won based on just making dumb decisions on the map. This LAG
he sees
team
the ceiling. He sees the ceiling.
Yeah. This team could be good. I mean, they, you know, a combination of these players did win an event last season, but I think this roster will look different by the time we get to champs, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely feel like he sees the potential in the roster. It's just about whether or not they're going to get there.
But I think, Ben, you said it best. I think this is just a momentary best option, and yeah, I don't see this being their team at the end of the year. Like, I would put a 0% chance on it.
Listen, this next team is
no, 0, bro. They're making an upgrade at some point.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the Florida Mutineers because this one's a head scratcher. This one's a little bit of a head scratcher. We're gonna switch on over screens over here. Florida Mutineers. It's looking like rumor on the block. Sorry, that's Don. Look, Don looks great actually. Look at Don. My God, guest of the year. But we got Major Maniac, Gizmo, Nasty, and Vickle. Listen,
Resident Sleeper,
but just in my honest opinion, I just feel like there's different approaches they could have took to the team, and I think they could have gotten a much different look. I just
this is a rumored squad. To be fair, let's be fair.
It's a rumored squad. It's a rumored squad.
Remember when Paris announced there was the rumor that the roster with Paris was going to have some players they didn't have going with, so. We'll see what public opinion maybe does to his roster, but I agree with you, Tom, like, and Pat, and Chris, what you think, Chris. Like, this is running it back with a version of the London squad in which Nasty was very good on land and struggled on line, and Gizmo was really good on line and struggled on land. Vickle, obviously, is a little bit of an unknown quantity, but did play good on land in the challenger scene, and obviously Mike is a very good S&D player, but Respawn sometimes a little bit questionable. Curious, though, Chris, what you think.
Look, I'm a fan. I like the people. I think that some of these guys are very good at what they do. It's just the team building aspect. It reminds me of Midnight Gaming when I ended up joining that team. They just threw together me, Blast, Lacefield, Llama God, fucking I forgot, I can't remember our entire roster, and they were just like, have at it. That's what this reminds me of, and I feel terrible for these players because there's no way these guys want to play with each other. It's just like, fuck, dude, we need a spot. Like,
but there's so many players. I would understand it if this roster was built in like.
I feel like that might be a trio,
bro. If there's still like players that we were just talking about, like Havoc, Standy, like these names going around, how in the fuck is this a team?
It's almost I feel like maybe the Gizmo, Nasty, and Vickle, they came over in a trio, maybe a pack.
Well. Aren't all these players
Mohawk, Gunless, bro? Like you could go down the list.
No, there's a lot of players. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different approaches you could have took to this roster, and this one doesn't even make any sense.
It makes sense if you think that they don't have a big budget. There's no buyouts in here. There are no players that are command massive contracts over than say maybe Mike. But yeah, it's just. I don't know, man.
Even then, Ben,
I'm a little confused on this one.
Even then, Ben, they could be the 12th team to sign players and still have a bunch of options.
Bro, I said this when the roster mania was happening at the beginning of the season. Florida is just fucked in terms of they have no, like, all their players, all their desirable assets were coming off their contracts, so they had no one. They had no one to like. To spark any sort of trade conversations. They had everybody that was undesirable was just basically let go. Like they had to start fresh. Like they were in a position where like I feel like they were better off like getting someone like Gunless or getting someone like getting like a veteran and then just like building like a challenger like type squad around them or something. Like
keep in mind
that would have probably been better.
They traded away their SMG player who could attract other players.
Well, yeah, that was at the end of the last season. But yeah,
that's 3 months ago.
But then they didn't qualify for champs. To Pat's point, like it's all a cascade.
They knew all this was happening. They knew all this was happening. They knew next season off season was going to happen when they weren't going to have contracts on other players, and you traded away one piece.
They fucked themselves over, bro.
You need.
They could have gone for Beans, Wardy. They could go for Classic. They could go for Gunless. Like, some of these players are still very good and could maybe help, have some say. They just kind of threw together anyone they could probably get, and then I don't know. Even Standy,
it's a rumored roster. I mean, Standy, Asom. I mean, the list goes on. There's a lot of players you can get. I don't think these players are bad. I think Vickel's a good player. I've heard good things about Vickel. A lot of people have been talking him up.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have a problem with the players.
It's just more the combination of it all for me. Just the overall team. Like, there's no.
They're not excelling in any position. Like, I also like Vickel. I think he could be like a very interesting glue piece to a CDL team, but the Nasty Gizmo duo was super inconsistent at London.
No, that's sugarcoating. That's sugarcoating it. They were amazing online.
I was about to get there.
They were very bad on land. They were.
I was about to get there.
They were too jittery on land. They were always way too jittery on land.
They played good at one land though. They played good at Major 1.
I mean, it's also the first time playing the league. I'm not saying these guys should be completely out. But they definitely should not be playing together again if anyone has any hope in any of them. Yep. And secondly, bro, this team just, like, I feel bad for Vickel. Like, this guy's going to come in his rookie year. He's getting set up. They have no foundation. Like, we never know. Like, these guys might just show up and be the best, but let's be real here. Like, there's zero foundation here, bro, for this team. I just feel bad.
This might be a team that will look completely different by the middle of the season. If you're Florida management, like, maybe you're going for value play here, but you got to be
that's
really
just challengers, right, Ben? Like, that's all they really can get.
Really active on challengers and any kind of free agent market to try and make moves. But there's another squad that I don't know is going to make it past the first couple events.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening with these guys.
It's a rumor, though. It's a rumor.
It's a rumor. We'll see what ends up happening with them.
Hopefully a false one.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Florida Mutineers. I just didn't expect that one. But that's what it's looking like. That's what the rumor is. And then we move on to the next one. This one's interesting. Atlanta FaZe. Looks like Slasher's going to be that guy. Looks like Thanos is heading over to the Atlanta FaZe. Personally, I really thought FaZe was going to stick it out, man. I really thought that they were just going to stick it out.
I think they should have.
Whatever problems they had amongst each other, I thought they could just hash it out. But from the looks of it, it didn't look like that's a possibility. And to that, they look at a fourth, and Slasher was the guy that I guess they ended up gravitating towards.
I think
in terms of who they can get, I think Slasher was at the top of their list.
Whoa, I don't think that.
Who they can get, Pat?
Well, out of who they can get, yeah. Right, I think this was just the easiest move to make because it's just a 1-for-1, right? You get Austin, you get Arcees.
It's a 1-for-1 trade, and although I think Arcees is very good, bro, Slasher is gross.
He is a good player.
At COD.
But he still wasn't their number one option. Like, if you would have went through the list of who they couldn't get, he's still not their number one team. Or at the number one play. At the end of the day, Austin got blessed here. Austin is literally
feeling good. He's feeling good.
Bro, he is on his balcony, wherever he's living right now, looking up to the stars, thanking somebody.
He threw the blacks away for sure.
He got saved. He was going through it the last few years in the CDL.
Yeah.
With these rosters, he got blessed. And he's probably going to make the most of it for sure. I mean, he's a good player. He's definitely going to make the most of it.
He's not just a good player. He's gross at his role. Like,
He's got a good team around him. He's got a really good team around him now. So it's like,
he's been begging for that type of opportunity,
smiling ear to ear, bro. He probably hasn't stopped smiling. If this is true,
shit, he's happy as hell.
I have a question. Do you think that he's gonna have to adjust the way he plays, though? I feel like this might be the first. You don't think so?
I feel like the game is gonna feel so easy. He's gonna be mind blown.
Yeah. I think he's literally gonna be like shook.
The game is gonna be on easy mode, and he's gonna.
I mean, I want to say that's true, but like at points of this year, Alec looked. I mean, granted it was Vanguard. Alec looked very uncomfortable, so we can say it looked easy, but Alec could be feeling that it was a very difficult game, and that could be on him. But like I said,
Chris, is it like we need to know? This is the whole complex of this FaZe situation. There's not a lot of messaging going on, or people like telling their side of the story. Is that uncomfortability the reason he got dropped on him, or is it on the team? Like,
yeah,
hear both sides.
It could be both.
It could be both. It could be either or. That's what I'm saying. Like, so we're on one side of saying, oh, it's going to be easy. The other guy on the other side of the end could be like, that shit was hard as fuck.
For the first time in Austin's career, he's going to be the worst player on his team.
That's what I'm saying. That was basically my question. Like, okay, if MC plays how he played, let's be realistic. The guy's not moving, right? Is Austin doesn't play the hill either. So is Austin, that's what I'm saying. Like, is Austin going to be okay? He's going to have to be okay taking the back seat to people who are just better.
Yeah.
I'm saying? I feel like he's never had to do that.
Wait, but Austin is a very intelligent player and very intelligent.
I know he can do it, but that was why I asked, like, is he going to have to adjust?
If he
can't play the same way and have Cell play the same way,
if someone has to adjust, I trust that he can do it.
Oh yeah, he could do it. I think he can do it.
He's a very smart guy.
I actually have a feeling that MC might speed up a little bit. Like, I think this should also be a learning lesson for this FaZe roster of kind of how this Vanguard year went. Like, MC is gross. He literally was Mr. Do It All. But at the end of the day, MC's got to realize, like, and this FaZe team in general, when you have two like AR core players, like MC doesn't have to play that way. I think he just can speed up and still do just as good. And I think it'll be to the benefit of the whole team. Like, especially when, Donna, you know this, when you come in with a new fourth, you kind of want every player, right, should have that mentality that they want to make everybody's job easier. Yeah. And I think Austin will have that mentality and I think they'll meet halfway is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it'll be all Austin going one way. I think it'll be a halfway thing. And I think MC making that change as well will help Simpson and PZ, not just Austin.
Do you know this year in SMG versus SMG fights, do you know who the top 4 players by KD were?
Hydra,
Havoc, MC, and Pred. You want to know ARs versus ARs?
Wait, you said SMG versus SMG.
SMG versus SMG.
How was Cell the number?
Because when he would pull out the sub, he would fry.
Oh, well, that's probably
he only used it on Tuscan P5 hitting drop shots.
You gotta have like a minimum of like 500 engagements or something.
So there's a chart.
Use it on one hill, bro.
Well, filter that for minimum 500 engagements.
So there's a chart. It's done by 125 kills. So a lot of players that didn't make
bump that up.
The break on that chart. And MC's, it's a bar graph. So obviously on one axis is the AR versus AR, SMG versus SMG. MC's all the way to the top right.
Now I know who's running the ESPN Twitter when they tweet out those bullshit stats. Like, yo, this guy is averaging the same thing as Larry Bird, fucking Bron, and MJ.
You can sit me and roast me here, but we're all like forgetting that in Cold War, MC was like literally one of the best fluxes in the game. I think they're going to be fine. MC moving to a flex role. He'll have to play faster because Austin's going to be a power spot guy, but there's going to be no issue with this FaZe team. Like, this is a great fit for Austin. He's obviously had some built-in chem because he's had Crowder coaching before, and they won back-to-back chips. Right, the FaZe team once again will be thereabouts.
I'm just saying, with MC and Alec this year, that they were both main AR. They favored to the AR role, right?
I'm gonna keep bringing this up. We still need to find out because everybody just assumes on fucking Reddit that MC chose to be main AR, and I spoke with MC, and that's not how that went down. So there's a lot more to the story than what's been said publicly here.
Either way, I think this is also kind of dependent on the game. If this is a not movement-based game where like you're doing the slide cancel abuse nonstop, I think Slasher's in a great position for this team. Like, he is literally a positional AR. Like, he plays the like I'm gonna be in the better spot like role, and he plays it really well. And I think if that game caters to that, I mean,
slide cancel?
It's tough to say it's an upgrade, but like I don't think they got worse.
It might be a 2 AR game too. It could be a 2 AR game again.
There's one other thing, guys, which is if you look at stats over the last 3 years, it's clear that Austin's actually probably the better S&D player as Alex. So I wonder if some of the thought process on the FaZe end was, hey, you know, we actually weren't all that great at S&D last year. Like, we need to get better at this game mode. And Austin, I think, will improve a lot for them on the game mode. Bro, if you've got on defense, Austin and MC anchoring either side with ARs, or you got MC grouping up, like, bro, there's just a wealth of S&D strats this team could run. I think the only thing is figure out snipers if it's in the game, but I like this move for FaZe.
The big thing here to me is like Austin has been known as like a vibe killer, but and like there's a lot of players that can speak to this, like Krim, myself, Haggy. Like, when you're on an elite level team, you're not a vibe killer. Like, when you have elite talent surrounding you and you're not dealing with bullshit from players that you don't respect as much as like you could, like Austin's literally coming to this team with ultimate respect to all three of these guys. Like, probably thinking or knowing they probably are better than him. He's not going to be somebody who's like bitching at them for how they play, like, and thinking that they're playing wrong. Like, to me, Austin's going to come into this team and be like,
fill a gap.
Yo, I am blessed. What
he's going to feel good. He's going to feel good.
Yeah, he's not. There's no vibe killing here. Like,
If there's
they're
any
playing
vibe
with
killing-
Simp, Abizi, and Cellium, bro. There's no vibe killing.
You cannot complain, bro.
Yeah, like, there's nothing for
you
Austin
can't
to complain
complain because
about.
you can't get better. Like, no fucking dick riding intended, but you can't get better. Like,
I think last thought, Chris, is if he is gonna run into some chemistry issues again, this is why they have that big coaching staff. And I'll mention again, Chris Kreider's coach slasher before. Remember how dysfunctional that Thieves team was. Chris came in with Preston and he turned that team into a back-to-back champion. So I like the vibe here. For FaZe, skill was not an issue. Making a supposed sideways move, I think, is very much about finally getting over the hump this year and not having like 4 seconds in a row and winning some of these events, because we know that this team is likely to be in CDL Champs finals once again.
I do agree with you too, Ben, that if MC had to run a sub, I mean, he'd be just fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen him on a sub. He's really gonna sub. He's a do-it-all player. You know, he can run a sub very, very well. So I don't know how the game's gonna be played. I think the no slide canceling is gonna be a big thing. I heard the pace of the game is still pretty quick, but we'll see when the game comes out. The map.
But I mean, that to me, that's like best case scenario for this FaZe team. Fast pace, but no slide canceling. Like, that to me, that just means like these guys will still be the best in their roles. Like, that's honestly, if you're FaZe, you're happy as fuck to hear that.
But listen, other than the FaZe roster, then we got a Toronto roster. This one looks good to me, man. I was gassing this roster up before. We got Kleenex at the sub. We got Hixie at the sub. Scrappy Flex Insight as the main AR. I personally love the team, but Pat, we'll kick it off with you.
I'm waiting for you to bring it up on stream.
Oh,
not up yet.
I didn't bring it up on stream. I just read it out.
Oh yeah. Oh my bad. Yeah. I mean, I think look, like we've kind of all been predicting this Scrappy move in. I think that was pretty obvious, and I think like I've said from the whole time, like that trio that they're locking up, I personally think is really good. Like, they're dominant almost. I would have liked to see Cammy stay personally. I like that Toronto roster. I personally don't think Hixie's the best this team can get. So I really, you know, whether this is a rumor or locked in or not, like, if they can get someone that they feel, you know, or is available, I should say, right, then I think they should go with that. Otherwise, Hixie's a good fallback, in my opinion. But yeah, this team is still going to have that same kind of vibe where they just have extreme teamwork. Bro, Kleenex is gross. Yeah, I thought Kleenex was better in like 2 years ago than he was in Vanguard. So I mean, I still think like this team is still going to be successful. Top 6, like almost guaranteed, in my opinion, like from just how the team goes. I think this roster could have got away with not changing and been okay.
Flashbang.
But I think getting no bullshit.
That's the only reason why I haven't pulled it up, Pat, because I usually do, but it's because the
do you use a program called Flux?
What is that? Gives you like dark mode for Google or something?
Nah, it like orange tints your monitor screen.
Yeah, during a certain amount of hours a day.
Yeah, it's godlike. It's really godlike.
I gotta try that.
It's not as bright white on you.
The only thing to add on to Pat, you know, this is what I'm a little concerned about for Toronto next year, and I like. Cam and Ben are gone. If you read the bottom of that article, it seems like Marquis B might also be on the move too. So like a lot of this core of this team is changing, both from a player and a coaching staff. So this team might have a different feel going next season. I really think that Scrappy can be that guy for this squad. And you know, Kleenex maybe in a game that's not Vanguard can go back to his takeover form. Like, I still think Toronto is there or thereabouts, but do you think the window is closed a little bit on them being like a de facto top 2 team? There's enough skill in this team to again be a really solid SME squad.
Anybody in the CDL besides FaZe is de facto top 2 though.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, Toronto and FaZe were de facto 1 and 2 for most.
Yeah, but that was Cold War. Yeah, but I'm just talking about overall.
But I think with this Toronto team, they look like again a really solid S&D squad. Let's see how they do in respawn. But the Scrappy Hixie duo will be interesting. It does seem though, based on Crone's article, that they are not 100 P on Hixie yet. So we'll see if they, who the sub they pick up.
Who else would they be looking at, Ben? Do you think if it's not Hicksy? Who else is going to fill that slot?
Any one of the subs. Asim's obviously sitting over on the LIG bench, and he's a Toronto boy, so that makes a lot of sense to me if you're Toronto, potentially down the line. But whoever Toronto picks up as a sub will, I think, indicate their thoughts on the team.
If Hicksy does get to play, I'm interested to see how he does because I think he got outshined by Vickle in their challenger roster, but people tell me he was like a gap filler type player who kind of would just do whatever it takes to win. He didn't need that. He wasn't that person that's going to attract that limelight to him. So I'm interested
I think that's
to see
a good thing, Chris.
Yeah, for them with the team they have. Yeah,
well, even if they don't end up getting Hicksy, right? Starting Hicksy, him being on the sub is still a win, right? Like when you also look, Ben, because I know you love the substitutes, like they get away with having, if they make another change, they get away with having like another phenomenal sub player if they need to, make a change later in the season. Whereas a lot of teams don't necessarily have that, right? And then they get kind of screwed halfway through the year and end up picking somebody up that they didn't plan for. So I think this team will be solid either way. If it's possible for an upgrade, I say this all the time. Every team should be trying to pack a punch, right? Any option you get in the CDL, you should be trying to pack a punch. And so if they have that option to where they can upgrade, from Hicksy to somebody else, absolutely do it. And if not, it's not the worst fallback case that they can always make a change later on.
Yeah, and just in general, I'm excited to see Scrappy playing the league. Guy's got a lot of fire in him. Guy's hilarious, shit talker. He's definitely going to spark some exciting stage moments if he continues to act the way he does. So pretty excited for that
I'm so
moment.
excited to see Scrappy in the league and some of the stuff he's going to say on stages here, man.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, for me, I feel like Hicksy is the X factor, right? I feel like Scrappy, Insight, Kleenex are definitely the clear lock, as it says in the article. But I like that trio of Scrappy, Insight, and Kleenex. I think that's a
Is it true that Insight was like a highly looked at player in this offseason?
Yes, there were multiple.
FaZe was looking into him, I'm pretty sure.
There were multiple teams that inquired at Toronto about Insight, and Toronto was
tweeted. At least that's what Crone tweeted.
We're not going to sell him. So I think if Jamie wanted to get off that lineup, he had to kind of KD it a bit. And obviously, even today, KD kind of eventually relented the situation. But
that is interesting.
That speaks to the quality of Jamie, I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. From the outside looking in, I would view Cammy having higher stock. Obviously, that wasn't the case. So it's interesting to kind of see that players are valuing Insight with how many good ARs there are in the league.
This whole offseason has been the main AR roster mania. So I'm not surprised because out of a lot of the main ARs, sure, you have some people with history and some accolades in the past. Insight the last 2 years has been very, very good. And he's also really good at search and destroy, and he's a young talent. So if you're looking for somebody in that role to invest long-term, he breaks the mold of the typical veteran main AR. You invest in him for maybe another year or two, but then they end up falling off because they're just, people get older and they just get worse apparently. But I don't know. I think he's pretty young. I could be wrong, but pretty sure he's probably, I'd say he's under 25, probably 22, 23. Is my guess. So if in comparison to some of the more veteran players, he's probably on the lower end in terms of his age. But so yeah, I'm not too surprised by that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, so this is what I was talking about, just what was tweeted. This was from Scrim Intel.
22, bro. Sorry.
No, you're good. They said Toronto Ultra player Insight has had an interest in him from the likes of FaZe and NYSL. It's likely Ultra refuses to sell, but never say never, especially when it comes to FaZe. So I don't know if I felt like there was a period of time where maybe FaZe was reaching out to people that maybe were restricted, just kind of see what was going on, in terms of their contract or how much somebody's buyout would be. But I think it was pretty obvious from the get-go that they're not getting rid of Insight at Toronto. Toronto's just not going to get rid of that guy. So I just don't see that happen. It's like when there was rumors of Pred going the FaZe. It was like, dude,
yeah, bro. That's why I lost fully, bro. You were like, don't watch what happens. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
you don't
it's
understand.
Not gonna happen.
Bro, no one's giving up their stars, bro. Nobody's giving up their stars unless they're getting a star back.
Toronto's making good moves though. They're keeping a young core, and they're just keeping all the bits and pieces that are making them great.
Yeah.
So.
Good
moves out of Toronto this offseason, in my opinion.
The only thing for Toronto that I'm going to be looking forward to is same thing with Pred, is seeing if either of those players sign extension in this offseason, or if they're going to let their contract run out and be a free agent next season.
If they're making decent money, I would just let that shit expire.
Yep. Bet on yourself.
Then this next one gets pretty wild, man. This is where things get interesting. We got the Boston Breach. Looking to be Nero, Vivid, Awakening, and Clay potentially coming in from Zinni. It's half and half right now. Seems like that spot's kind of being thought about a little bit. This one's interesting, man. This one's interesting. I'll start with you, Pat. What are your thoughts on this, Clay? Maybe getting back in there.
I like the okay. I like the Awakening pick, no matter what. That's a good pickup. Like, this team needed a flex player. Awake can do it, especially on a roster that has 2 defined SMG players, which I think Awakening was dealing with a lot, where this like he couldn't get on a team that had 2 defined SMG players. The Clay or Zinni pick is kind of strange to me. I mean, I hate saying this, but I feel like if Boston wanted to like think long term, I think they could go for something better that they would want. Like, well, I mean, dude, I would pick like, when we're talking about a team that, think about this roster, they're all young as fuck, right? Like, how old is Nero and Vivid? They're like 20,
they're young.
19.
They're young. They gotta be probably 21,
22, 23. If like this team is all 24. Pretty young, I think they could have just kind of like made not a better team, but just a younger team and just moved their own way. That makes a little bit more sense. Clay is a weird pick for this team, just because, dude, like, that's what, a 12-year age gap between like Clay and some of these guys. I don't know how that really works. I've been saying that, like, when I was talking to Krim, like, some of these, and we were kind of seeing this, right? Like, the maturity level between players, like with NYSL when they came on the flank, like, dude, like, you can just tell. Like, sometimes that shit's just not gonna work, bro. When you're like 12 years older than somebody, like, you're not hanging out the same way. But
I don't think it's that bad. But in my opinion, if they are vetting Clay here, I think the reason being is they want an actual leader in game, because in my opinion, if you build a team that's purely young and that doesn't have a lot of experience, you're relying a lot on your coaching staff to help mold these teams. And this tells me that they aren't going to rely heavily on their coaching staff to help mold them, and they'd rather have somebody with a lot more experience to get these guys.
Why have a coaching staff?
Well, I'm saying it's not the same. Having a coaching staff helps you out a game, but once you load up into the game, if like these younger players have trouble, they're not going to have anyone to look to. If like it's not the same.
I don't really see, like, look at LAT. I don't really see an in-game leader on that team. Do you?
No, but like, a lot of them,
but that's not really being an IGL. Like,
wait, hold on,
like, stay down, like, do this.
Hold on, but you can't even compare the two. They're fucking a veteran team. Like, all of them are.
No, but you're saying you want people to mold somebody. Like, I'm just looking at other teams. Like, I don't think every team needs an IGL. Like,
no, I'm not saying every team needs one. I'm saying that could be their
team needs one.
They need somebody who's vocal. You know, they need.
Yeah, because look at their team. Like,
Zinni was vocal.
Bro, I'm gonna say Awakening is very quiet.
He wasn't like a leader, but
Awakening is very quiet. Vivid is also very quiet, and if I remember, Nero in Challengers, he's also pretty quiet.
You're thinking about this too much, bro. This team isn't even listening to comms, bro. They're literally just reckless aggressive, bro. Just give them another shooter and just say, yo, run at them, get more kills, and try and win the game.
What?
Like,
that's not how you build a team long term.
You're trolling. Not even like thinking, bro, look at this team. Look at how these guys play. These guys are maniacs on the map. You're not slowing them down. They are one-gear players. Just let him go rogue, bro.
But they
bro,
play
what?
You got a coaching staff.
You just got to
say go rogue.
You just let them do whatever they want. That's how you build a team.
I don't think you're looking. Bro, if Clay gets on this team, Clay is gonna lose fucking full playing with these guys. Just a fact.
I mean, potentially, like, or maybe he actually can bring them together.
Bro,
I'm not defending this move.
Full playing with these guys. Bro,
listen,
I'm not a fact.
I'm not defending this move. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying that is their thought process probably going forward. If you really wanted to build a young team and you wanted somebody else to replace Zinni, I think you could have gone with maybe even like Tom Grab if you were looking to look for a almost like full challenger team at that point.
My point was, Chris, this is just not a
like,
roster that you put an IGL on, like, because it's just like they're not gonna follow the fucking.
Well, the one thing I will say,
and if they need structure, they get worse. Yeah, and if these guys play structure, they just get worse.
You don't know that they haven't played.
I've seen these type of players, bro, my whole career, bro.
Okay,
they're nasty when they play the way they want, and they just run around the map and go rogue. They play structure and they just get worse.
Pat, they got world starred by FaZe all season. Struggled against
obviously, but this goes back to Chris's point. Not everybody's gonna beat FaZe. This is just, bro. When you're building a team where you're just outskilled, top to bottom, you're not beating FaZe, bro.
Listen, you're not even listening, Pat. Like you're just making assumptions about these players when they might have played that way in the past, but they haven't been on a team where they've had that. Look at Awakening's history. He's been on Flora. The last time he had a leader was when Pharaoh was there. Rest in peace. Right. Ever since then, they haven't had a leader. He's been
calling him a kill whore for 3 years.
Listen, I've had people from Florida tell me they basically don't have coaches. Sorry to anybody that's been over there. Like they've had no structure. They've had no leader. That's for the Awakening side. And Vivid was also in a very similar place. And then where'd he come from? LAG, who at the time when he was with Vivid, or Vivid was on LAG before, they also had nothing.
Chris, you just brought up a phenomenal
what I'm saying
point.
Is all these players have not been in a position where they've even had a leader, let alone any sort of structure that they've had the opportunity to even get better.
I love the point that you just brought up. I love that point you just brought up for me.
Give him a chance.
You put Vivid on a team that wanted to play 100% structure, had an IGL, had 3 coaches, and he looked horrible and got dropped off the team. And then he goes to a roster where he doesn't have to play that way, and he looks great. That's the type of player Vivid is.
Disrespect to Dallas Empire right there, saying they just run around.
They just run around? Bro, you think Dallas Empire has no structure? You were fried. Bro, listen.
Think about it.
Come on, Pat.
Think about this. Why doesn't... What did Krim say about when he teamed with Vivid? Why did Vivid not like Krim? Because he sat there and tried to tell him how to play. Bro, let this guy just go rogue on the map.
You team up,
bro. These guys are just not going to be successful going with a style of we need to slow all these guys down and be a fucking very structured team.
It's not that black and white. It's not like that.
It's not that black and white.
It is.
What I'm saying is give them what I'm saying is give them a chance. You don't know that for sure. Like give these guys a chance. I'm not saying that might be the direction they're going in, but that's the way it looks. Give them a chance to see if they can actually put something together.
We'll see leadership over their heads. We'll see in 13 months.
The final thought on this team, Chris, which is why I agree with you, bro. They're not trying to spawn in and be another top 8 team again this year. Yes, last year when this team got
then spend money.
They're making good upgrades.
You're just gonna keep spitting fucking bullshit. All right. Look, this Boston team got formed late last year, and it's typical to qualify for champs, but they were outclassed by teams with more skill. They've now brought in Big Wake, which is an upgrade over TJ. They're obviously deciding what to do with the main AR position, but I agree with Chris. They need to take the next step as a team and have some kind of structure and belief so they can start actually getting victories against an Optic and FaZe of Thieves. Otherwise, it's going to be another season where they're going
fun
against
doing that.
teams.
We'll see you 9 through 12, and we'll come back next year and do it all over again.
Next team, Tom.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We got the New York Subliners. Kismet, Hydra, Skies, and P-Dog, Priesta. Man, what do you guys think about this?
Who?
Kismet, Hydra, Skies, and Priesta, P-Dog.
I didn't even, dude. I forgot all about Priesta. I'm not even gonna lie. I forgot he was in the conversation, bro.
It's just another team.
I don't know why he went so under the radar, bro. I just forgot.
See, we keep talking about teams needing to have that leadership, right? That vocal leader. I personally think the term IGL is a little overrated. Personally, I think it's overrated.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not to say that there's not a leader vocally in game. I think Octane was a great example for that. A lot of people were saying in the chat, just because you heard it in the listenings, right? Just somebody who's just vocally just
that stands out in the listenings.
Yeah. Like Don, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody who like really involves himself into the communication. Like I definitely think Sam's up there like that. I don't know if this New York team has that.
No, Chris, Priesta was another option LAG could have went for. You were asking about subs. I wanted to bring it. I completely forgot about Priesta.
Priesta can play a sub, but
guys should play. Priesta is in the same convo as Kenny, bro. You can run an AR all you want. You'll statistically do well, but get your ass on a fucking sub.
Well,
stop wasting your own years in your career, bro.
To be fair, Tom can agree with this. In World War II, y'all, Tom, remember how mediocre we were in Hardpoint? We would press into a mini art. Tom, you want to let everyone know how good a Hardpoint we were?
Bro, that FaZe team was gross regardless, bro.
All right,
but the role change helped. It helped.
I think Preston can play a lot of roles. The last couple of years, we haven't seen the Preston that I think we saw.
You also had you on the team.
Facts, Pat. You're not wrong.
All right, anyway, so Preston obviously hasn't played that well the last couple of years. I think to his standards, I definitely don't think the Minnesota situations have helped. But I like the potential opportunity of this New York squad. But again, as I've said on like shows before this around Hydra, I think this is now his team. Let's see if this team can get a better team culture, because we all have to be fucking therapists for this team like a week ago. So hopefully we help solve all those issues and they can move on to be a better squad.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how this team plays, to be honest.
Obviously, I like the Kismet and Hydra core that they kept because, like I said, every team's got a hold on their subs, and Kismet was very, very good for New York last year in terms of making their run towards the end, and Hydra was obviously gross the entire time. But I'm a big fan of the Skies pickup. I think Skies, just like Awakening, has had just that long cold run with Florida ever since after he passed, where they just haven't been able to get anything going and have had very, very minor successful stints where they've maybe like upset a team or two throughout the CDL year. So I'm excited to see them kind of both of them to break out of that mold and get on other teams. So I'm pretty excited to see Skies on that team. My question mark will, just like I was skeptical about Preston this last year when he was on Rocker, and I was always talking about how he just needs to play better. It's the same thing. I'm interested to see how he steps up his game, if he's gonna make a good impact on this team, because he's been kind of a question mark, man. And I think he definitely knows that. But he's got to start showing up some results and start playing like the P-Dog of old if he wants to make this team work.
There's also a massive opportunity for Caesar. Sorry, Tom.
No, you're good.
But for Caesar Skies, he's now out of the Florida situation. He's teaming with, I think, probably players that have a little bit more upside as a squad. Huge opportunity for him to be on a super relevant team here. But for New York, again, going back to the Crone article, seems like D-Rail is also possibly on the move. So I'm very curious who's actually going to coach this team at the beginning of the season. Go ahead, Tom.
They might. What about re-picking up JP and Bobble? Do you think that's a thing?
No.
I think there's been like bridges burned there, if anything.
Well, the JP thing, if he's got an optic offer in his hand, I don't, you know what I mean? But
Gerson chat.
And I think
looking at this roster, bro.
Spend, but go ahead.
I know I said like I would GM for NY at $1 million a year for 3 years. Looking at this roster, bro, I need $2 million a year, bro. I just feel like, dude, this team, as soon as something goes wrong, bro,
he's chalked.
Yeah, I just see like that. I just see the effort thing happening, bro, where it's just like
people aren't gonna try and shit.
Yeah,
there's no excuse anymore.
I don't think it'll be like bad blood between the players. I don't think the players are gonna like argue and not get along. But like, yeah, I just see like when this being one of those rosters where like you start off, you feel confident, you don't do well, and then you're just like, fuck.
They have no marks. Like that stuff now that's out there that they had issues with it last season. It's the same complaint this year, bro. The biggest thing for this New York team is addressing the culture. You address the culture, results will come.
They gotta fix it up.
But the culture is like the first thing this thing needs to figure out with this this whole entity, this whole team, the players.
Well, aside from Chris,
etc.
Aside from Chris, like Chris Haggy, are any players that aren't coaches being talked about coming into coach? Because I don't see any of like the rumored coaches that have already. Yeah, like no, because we're talking about like there was a coach roster mania a little bit, right? Like I don't see any of the current coaches coming in and helping this team. Like I don't think like Cinder or Bevels or Marquis B or these options that have been swinging around that would really come in and like make the kind of culture impact you're talking about.
I think Mark. I also think that linked to that article also was supposedly Sam Phoenix is also potentially on the move. Might be able to help kind of improve some of the culture here.
Sam Phoenix is getting fired from Seattle?
I don't think he's getting fired, but the article that Crone linked sounds like, maybe he only signed a 1-year deal. It's not really clear from the article what the situation is, but it looks like he's possibly going somewhere else.
And they wouldn't re-sign him?
So they lost
their GM and their coach. So who the fuck's coaching Seattle?
Yeah, that is interesting. That is very interesting. I thought they were just gonna re-sign him.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, I get like the GM left, but like the Phoenix one doesn't make any
terms
sense.
of
I thought he
Sam
did
Phoenix,
a
it's
good job.
It's a good business decision to go talk to other people if he has every right to. It's
No, but Ben was saying that he only got a 1-year deal and didn't get re-signed.
No, I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that is or
but
isn't.
I'm saying, say he even signs a 1-year deal and it's up at the end of the year. After kind of made some moves, you got a lot of teams here looking for coaches. I mean, Pat, you wouldn't talk to other teams. Get your foot in the door elsewhere. Talk to other teams a little bit.
Yeah, $1 million a year, 3 years. Yeah, I already set my minimum, Tom. I already set my minimum.
I mean, it's just
so it's like not even worth the conversation, Yeah,
I mean, it is. I'm just saying. Maybe he was just talking around a little bit, and I think they might offer him. He might come back. But that is interesting that they offer. What the article said he's on the move, right? Is that what he said, or he's just kind of looking?
Potentially, I think that what is it called? That article was basically just talking about people that have fielded like looked at offers elsewhere, but haven't actually just outright said I'm leaving. It's just there are probably just people that have had deals that were like you said 1-year things where it's okay, let's go see if I can find something better. If not, I'll just stay here.
But
and then you got one more thing.
I also think Phoenix would be better off on Seattle, knowing the personality and the relationship he's already built. He's a little bit different of a coach. We kind of talked about that a little bit through this year.
Yeah, he could be very intense.
Yeah, I think he might as well. He was better off just sticking with the guys that already kind of are used to that style and clearly had success with, right? I don't see a reason to change. I just think Seattle should pay him whatever, he gets counteroffered or whatever.
Yeah, right. No, I get that. But let's move on to the last team that I think is worth talking about. Is Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Vegas. From what it looks like Don Don. The new rapper superstar, new single out now. Rain. Go check it out. This guy Don Don, man. Don, what's going on, Don? Who you picking up?
Don't even talk to him like that, Tom. He was paid $50K last night to roll up to the police station with a cop hostage and negotiate me out. And he showed up to the doorway and ran away. He literally taxied Z to the police station and drove away.
I got the cash though. I got the cash.
And then hold on. And then
I got the cash though.
And then I rolled dice with him to get Z's money back. And he only paid Z $5K back instead of the 25.
So you gotta be careful from Don Dada on the streets. This guy's deadly.
Wait, Tom. We also haven't talked about London, so we can talk about them after.
You have London too, but we'll start with Vegas and we'll go to London. And then there's some tweets here. Clayster speaking about buyout prices and shit. I don't know. I want to take a look at that. Get your thoughts on that shit. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts here, Don Don? What's going on? What's going on in the Vegas game?
Earlier. You remember what I told you earlier?
I remember, man. I remember. I mean, you're just kind of.
I'm really just in that situation where they're not making their mind, so there's nothing I could do but just stay optimistic.
Who's they? Players or?
There's only 3 people. There's 4 people in our organization.
Okay, that's what I was making sure.
I'm one of 4. I'm one of 4. There's Drew. There's McGee, and then there's me.
Hey, you an important piece though, Don Don.
You are an important piece, Don Don. You're an important piece, man.
So the other 3, I tried to reach out and be a more part of the convos, but like McGee, I talk to McGee all the time, but I want to talk to those 2. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Drew and Mark, they have the money, right? You know what I'm saying?
They're the ones making the actual decisions.
They're the one actually making it.
Which is the issues.
I have yet to speak to them. Hopefully we can. Actually, I just want to talk to them. Even if I talk to them one time, at least I can. I've been on the team since April of Cold War or something like that. Right? Something like that. Yeah, April of Cold War, and I've never talked. I've talked to Mario one time over the phone once. I don't even know how Drew sounds. I literally don't even know the sound of his voice.
You got his number?
Hey, do you have his number? Have you ever called him?
I got Mario's.
You don't have Drew's number?
Bro, Drew is literally the ghostwriter, billionaire. I don't know what he's doing. He's just.
Wait, you don't have his number though?
No. Don't.
I have Drew's number if you want it. I'm actually serious too.
I'm making a group text. I'm just saying, yo, Don needs to talk to you.
All right, let's go. Let's talk about talk about the rumored roster because I don't think we actually mentioned it. What's this rumor?
There's no rumor with Vegas.
There's no rumor?
There's nothing there. The rumor is Don Don. That's the only thing they got there. That's the rumor.
I thought there was a rumored roster.
We were earlier before the show. Pat waived his GM fee and tossed
I did.
potential rosters to Don.
Just to Don though, not to the organization.
All right, Don, let's hear it. Who do you want to play with?
One person I want to play with is definitely Tej. I know he may not have the best year, but like if you check all his damage and shit, he was shooting. I think he just had an issue of playing his life. But I definitely want to play with him because I played with him before, and I just play with all new people, and I feel like you do need new people to play with for sure. Like new rookies, new talent, you need that, but you need it to a certain level. Like I feel like our team, when it was all like just new people I've never played with, you know what I'm saying? I didn't necessarily feel like that was the best way. That was the best chance at winning. You know what I'm saying? Like with Tej, I know at least it's me and him. I know how he plays. I played with him before. I've known him for like 10 years. You know.
Yep. You know what he's gonna bring. You know what
I know what he's gonna bring. I know I'm gonna at least get some sort. We're gonna like think alike as some sort of shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Do you want to play with Tej on an SMG or
on a
Flex?
sub? On a sub.
God bless.
Yeah, when I'm on a sub.
You want Tej on a sub?
Yeah.
All right. Who do you? What else? Flex, other stuff.
No. Tej needs to be on a loadout locked.
This guy's giving out. He can't be giving out his whole roster, bro.
Yeah, I'll just say.
Tej, if I didn't waive my fee and I was GM for Legion, if you made one AR class through the whole year, you done. You would load out locked on a sub.
You pull out and search, but
just respawn.
Yeah, respawn. Yeah, so yeah, for sure.
TJ
like you
will
gotta make him
definitely
default classes.
TJ kind of reminds me like a Benjamin Bench almost in some ways. Like they take like long route. They're like a long route type guy. Makes like
TJ
good
can
plays.
go rogue, bro. He just gotta feel comfortable.
Rogue.
He said he didn't feel comfortable last year, and he said he didn't want to run a flex. So
yeah.
TJ's also that guy. Like I've teamed with a lot of people I've played with, like Nicky D, Kyler, Tej. They're such good teammates where like they just think they could just do whatever role. Like I'll just do it for the team. You know what I'm saying? Even if that's to sacrifice their own personal gameplay.
But I will still never. This is off topic, but I will still never forget the statement Awakening made, the tweet that we like read. Remember, he
why
said,
the fuck am I on a sub?
No, he's like, I don't even want to run a sub or something, or an AR or a sub. Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah,
what do you mean? Who's forcing you?
Why is there so much of a disconnect between players and ownership? Like that's a problem with a lot of these teams. They don't communicate with each other. They don't talk. And it's a big problem when the players do talk and ownership doesn't listen, because that's also another problem.
I also think a lot of the players think they're that good, which is good to have that confidence. Like even me, like I've ran a sub a lot because you just think that you're that good. You could just run any role. But I don't think that applies to everyone. You know, like respectfully, it just doesn't.
I don't think it applies to anyone at the end of the day. Everyone is going to be the best at something. Like,
but there's just so many examples I can think of, like in MW, like Kyler. I don't know how Kyler was playing good in MW because he ran Smoke Trophy, MP5. You know, like that's one of those roles where it's just like they just
also 5v5, Shotzzy, Illy.
Yeah, to be fair, they start out the year having Kyler running Smoke.
I've been saying this shit for years.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to bring examples of people like even Preston. I feel like he tried to just be a role player because he got Simps, Cell, and Abizi, and he was running Smoke Trophy AR. He was running Smoke Trophy AR.
Make sure you don't talk so loud. Make sure you don't talk so loud because now Enable's gonna come in here and be like, I was on Solid Vision post.
He was, bro. That's
he was though.
Dragon Auto.
He was
no. But he's the one case though that like makes sense. You know
that low key did make sense, bro. He was.
They won that chip though.
He did what he had to do. He had to do what he had to do.
Yo, Ian is tight right now. Ian is tight right now.
I mean, he lifted 2 trophies. I think he's feeling pretty good about it. So.
Is he in here? Is he in here? I'm just going up.
Yo, Vision Post was the most disrespectful role, bro. Had to have been one of them. Yeah, I was challenging every Vision Post player on any team, bro.
Enable was the aim assist dragger, bro. That was his title.
Bro, TJ said if he didn't run an AR, he was in challengers this year, so.
Yeah, so there you go. You see what I'm saying?
That's what he's in the chat.
So teach finesse. Yeah, what you mean? I can run a flex. I've been doing that. Bro, but that no bullshit. I think that happens a lot with some of these teams.
That's what happened to me on Thieves. You know, they're like, yo, Don, you and T sub deal. What I'm gonna say? No, it was either them or Paris. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I can
shooting bots right now. I'm shooting bots right now.
Hell
yeah, I can run this shit.
Yeah, I can run this shit. Like.
Dude, that's so true. That's actually how it is sometimes, man. All right, well, Vegas, we can move by, and then London. What is even going on with London? Because they changed it. Because here in the article, it says Paul X, Zero, Gizmo, and Nasty, but obviously that's not the case.
What's gotta be Wardy and Beans, right?
If you read what Crone, if you actually read what he says, Tom, like he does educated guess. Like I don't think anyone really knows what's going on in the London situation other than it seems like Paul X is there. Maybe they're re-signing Trey. Like this could be another Wardy and Beans destination potentially. But they're going to take, I think, their sweet time to figure this team out.
I think the duo though of Paul X and Zero is a pretty solid foundation.
I like that.
The only shitty part about this is they have no subs, and subs are really hard to come by. But I mean, like, bro, you could do a lot worse than Paul X and Zero. Like that's a solid duo to kind of have and build on. It just kind of comes down to if you can get SMG players, and I think Wardy and Beans kind of stand out because, like, if they want to keep that European talent pool, which they've always, done since they've been in the CDL, then that's the only way they can do that. Otherwise, I mean, you go for players like Havoc, Asum, and players like that. So it'll be interesting to see if they finally break away from the EU dominant roster that they've went with so far, because their whole coaching staff is EU as well, right? So it could be that could play a part. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on with this roster, Ben. I think it might be something along the lines of Trey, Paul, Beans, and Wardy, like you said. But I really don't know. You say they're taking their sweet time, Ben, with this roster. You think they're just chilling? Just they haven't signed anybody. They're just looking at everybody and they're just gonna kind of go with it.
I mean, it doesn't seem like they're in the mix for like some of the next couple of dominoes to fall here. They were kind of waiting on some of these team announcements for. I think the younger challenger players that were on the Toronto Ultra Academy NA team or one of the other EU teams are possibly going to London, so they're going to try and probably be in the mix on those guys. But like the players that they're chasing aren't attached to a lot of other teams in terms of real options other than just having combos. So I mean, for London, look, like last year was an issue where they were good online and they got to LAN, and outside of one event they really struggled. There's potential there. Paul X, if he's on this roster, is a really good spot, but curious to see the combination of this roster. They go younger once again.
Yeah, and then Chris, you got any thoughts on it?
No, I'm sorry. I was just reading chat and I just seen something like, okay, I can't say it.
You're good, bro.
You're
good.
Well, what I've seen in chat is
nuts, guys. They're nuts. They're nuts.
That's bad. Yeah.
Wait, what I miss?
Just read.
Copy and paste for me.
Listen, can you guys chill with the thing?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Let's get back on topic.
Jesus Christ, bro.
I don't know why that made me laugh.
Chat, you know why I hate the dings? Because you guys think it's some crazy intel. It's just them having a normal conversation with each other.
Tom, I'm helping you out. Check the chat.
Nah, I'm good, bro.
That's how you turn off the dings.
Let's get back on topic.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm getting the dings off for you.
Thank you. But it says here, Clayster speaks on his buyout prices over the years and says players are entitled to 25% of their buyout. United to Empire, 250K. Empire to Subliners, 325K. Subliners wanted 500K to $1 million for him last season. This is what he said. And then who was it? Ben Farzam, right?
Well, Clay and Pip Farzam apparently talked, and Clay kind of walked it back a little bit because I responded in the middle of this because I personally was mind blown if New York was really saying an asking price for a player they didn't want with a sunk cost. I legit think it was a situation where if someone offered them a bag of baseballs and taking on Clay's salary, they would have been down for that. But it sounds like they talked, and what probably happened with Clay is the comms. He doesn't, as if you're a player involved in that transaction, it's not like you're in the room when the teams are negotiating. Yeah. So you're probably hearing it through players on the other teams. There's information is not always accurate.
Well, I mean, I don't think it went that way. I think it might have been that if Clay was talking to another org, and the other org didn't want him.
No, what how it works anymore though.
You know what I mean, Ben. You know how that's not contractually how it works. But another org could have just been yo, your buyout's $500K. We can't do it. Just as an excuse to not want him.
That's not how that works. You can't.
Ben, you are not fun at parties, bro. Wow.
I know what you're trying to say, but I'm just
you clearly don't. If you're going, that's not how it works anymore in the contracts. It's right there in the fine print that the players cannot speak to the organizations anymore.
That's
not what I'm talking about, Ben. Not what I'm talking about.
All right, fair enough. Go on with you, I guess.
The players have the right, like, can contracts in, like, in a buyout situation? Can part of the buyout be a contract renegotiation, almost like a salary change?
I mean, but think about it from. This is what's complicated about the Klay situation, guys.
Ben, hit it, Ben, go.
Because from my understanding, and Klay's mentioned this too, is that like he's on a pretty fully guaranteed contract. So like, there's now right now in the CDL default 60 days of buyout. Right, if a team says I'm buying you out, you get paid out 2 months and you're good to go. But Klay, like, you know, if they buy him out, they're on the hook for that whole contract. So
well, that's my point, though. You saw what Klay was tweeting, though. He was like, I don't care how much I get paid. I'll play for $0. Like, Klay was talking about that, like, wanting to be back in the league. So I'm saying, like, if that is true or if it's just Twitter fluff, right? That's my point. Like, because I feel like that was why I asked my question, because I feel like if he actually wanted to play, then I think he could have easily made that happen by getting out of that contract. It's just no one in the CDL wants to play over getting their money. Like, it's just how it is. So I think I was just kind of calling out the Twitter fluff.
That's the complication. Sorry, Tom. That Pat is kind of where I was going. It was like the complication with that situation. I think there's the two sides to how that went down. And everybody's got different competing interests. So listen, just because people say stuff on social media doesn't always mean that's true. But go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, that was my point.
You think people would just like wake up one day and just lie, Ben? Like, come on. I'm just kidding. It was sarcasm. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But listen, I don't know.
Tough crowd.
No, that's a good joke. That's a good joke.
Listen, man, I'm fucking over it. We're done. I think we talked all the rosters. I think we did the awards. I think we did everything. Unless it's something we fucking missed, I don't know. But this WrestleMania has been fucking hell, bro. This shit's been
what's crazy?
Oh, there's one thing we missed. There's one thing we missed. People keep mentioning in the chat. What? All the Warzone versus CDL Pro conversation over the weekend.
Bro. Warzone squad is pulling up and beating CDL Pro, bro. I don't care what anyone put on Twitter. It's not happening.
It would take
CDL players 12 to 24 months, or sorry, Warzone players 12 to 24 months of playing competitive every day with a competitive team to even get to that level. So no.
Activision, you have my email, you have Tom's email. Chris and Haggy will hop on and help.
Chris and Haggy,
or Haggy and Pat will hop on.
My name is Chris.
Chris and Pat will hop on.
Try again, one more time.
5 names, yo.
and commentate. Let's get a show match going.
Real quick though, to put this to rest, bro. I don't care about no show match. At the end of the day, listen, my bad, TBE noobs. The guy's amazing at Warzone, has more earnings than I do, and I played competitive Call of Duty. That guy was horrible when he played.
The problem is,
and that guy runs Warzone. Like, come on.
Bro, the problem is like we've seen like YouTubers who are really fucking good at pubs. It's like the same convo, bro. It's literally just pub stomping. Like that is literally what Warzone is. It is like literally just a different way of pub stopping.
But let's say from a different standpoint, right? Like there's some players in Warzone who have the talent, who potentially could make the crossover, but they just have to put in a lot of time. Like you said, Pat,
12 to 24 months at least, yeah. And even then, like 5 to 10% of them would be successful.
Talent, but look, bro, we're talking about Call of Duty. Listen, man, I should be biased here because I come from Call of Duty. Call of Duty is not a hard game to point and shoot at. Like anyone can do it. It's not. I think there was a conversation on Twitter the other day where JP was talking about decision making and pacing, the word pacing and stuff like that. Bro,
awareness.
All Call of Duty is anticipation and awareness. Like everything else is secondary, because if you put yourself in good positions as many times as possible, you're not going to run into difficult gunfights. The difficult gunfights, the gun skill comes into play when you just get put in the worst possible scenario, the worst possible position, and you can bail yourself out. Like all these people that play Warzone can shoot just as good as a COD pro, but no, that's not like impressive to me.
Didn't Tommy go to Warzone and like run up the fucking earnings?
And
like,
rated.
Yeah, bro. I remember in MW, the FaZe guys loved playing Warzone, like Priesta, Celium, all those guys.
They broke a record.
Bro, they were sitting there just breaking records. Like, bro, it's not hard. It's just Call of Duty is a game that comes with time, and at the pro level, it's definitely a lot harder than it is Warzone.
Scump went over there and won the $100,000. Scump went over there and won $100K.
In Warzone, aside from shooting straight, like You're literally pub stomping, bro.
Yeah, there is map awareness. There's map awareness.
Bro. The map is fucking 8,000 meters by 8,000 meters, bro. Like there's minimal map awareness.
And you would be surprised. A lot of people
in comparison to competitive, it is literally like 1% awareness.
There's some good.
I'm gonna defend Warzone here, bro.
Yeah, there's some talented, aware people in Warzone. There are.
Yeah,
there's some good
people
players.
know the map, bro. People know all the sight lines they can be shot from whenever they're like in certain positions. It might seem difficult to you, but like, bro, these guys are putting in as many.
To me, I'm the one saying it's not difficult. What are you talking about?
I'm saying it's difficult for you to understand. Sorry, but these guys play the game, the same map over and over and over for as long as we do. Like they're gonna know it inside and out.
Yeah, and they shoot against my pops on the TV. Like, what?
I mean, of course, I'm not saying Warzone takes more skill. I'm saying there is
it's not what he's saying.
There is still some awareness there and stuff that they have the advantage on. But just in that specific field. Not to say that we couldn't go over there and do the same thing.
Listen, the bottom line, the craziest thing is that Slasher is probably the highest paid player on the Atlanta face.
What?
I don't.
It's possible if that contract was a 1-for-1 swap, and knowing what Austin's contract could have or should have been on LAG, there's a possibility he's the highest paid player on that roster.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's crazy to think about, though.
I would assume that Simp is probably getting paid the most on that team.
I mean, from what I heard, I'm just saying there's a chance for that to be true.
Damn.
I assume they're all getting paid a lot. They also make a lot of prize money, so I think everybody on that team is definitely going to eat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's my point, though. Like, if you do a comparison, like, all of Atlanta FaZe are getting paid a lot. We knew that. But, like, Slasher was, like, the main attraction on the LAG team, right? Like, in terms of salary, I would assume. So, if he kept his same contract and it was just traded over, then there's a chance he's the highest paid player on that team.
Yeah, but if you're Austin...
I'm not saying it matters. It's just wild to think about.
Money. Again, we've had this comment before, like, you might have to take less money to join FaZe, but you're going to make more money in prize money. So at the end of the day, it kind of balances out. So.
Well, he would have to renegotiate, though, no?
I mean, it depends. If you bought him out, they probably signed him a new deal, right? Because you're going to want him to commit to probably like 2 or 3 years. So I guess we'll have to wait until the announce and more details. On
you think they signed Austin to 2 or 3 years? Yo, Austin got blessed.
Wait, Chad, when I said nothing wrong, I was saying from Austin's POV, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what I was saying. That's nothing wrong with him, but it's just wild from the outside perspective.
From the outside, yeah, right. I'm just saying from his POV, from Austin's shoes. I mean,
there's a lot of Slasher haters in chat, man.
Yeah, he's been around. He's been doing it for a long time. He's a good player.
A lot of people in the chat think that they would just keeping Austin a 1-year deal would be, if I were FaZe, I'd at least want him on 2 years. Because then you get hoed, you get screwed next offseason because he's going to try and renegotiate with you, and you lose all the leverage. I'd want to get him to commit to 2 years now, so I've had it on cost control.
Well, I imagine that they. When did Abizi and Simp and Cell resign? Was it last year?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the same thing. Like their whole squad's going to expire if they don't renegotiate.
They're probably going to do what they've done every offseason. Is they're just going to extend. They're going to negotiate new contracts to everybody because they want to obviously give people pay raises and get them locked in for multiple years. There's zero reason to let any of those players ever sniff free agency.
Sorry, I was just reading chat. I was reading for chat, but dude, Slasher for Arcades is not completely unbelievable. Look at Slasher's teams the last couple of years. I think his last team of like the championship caliber players that we've seen was when he was on Thieves, but that was with Thieves running like Kenny on an AR, and obviously them switching out like Venom and Draza and them going through all that. They had John, like, right? He was on that team. Was he on Thieves? Yeah, like, bro, before then, like how can you even compare the two? Like at Arcades teams compared to Slashers. Slasher is good, a very good player.
He's all right, not better than me though.
This is the best roster that Austin's been on since. I'm gonna go way back on this one. I actually think it's the best roster that Austin's been on since probably Rise World War II. And I know that Thieves Black Ops 4 won back-to-back chips. But I think this is like, for Austin, this is like a massive opportunity to place himself in a really good squad that's obviously trying to win another chip. Like, this is a massive, massive opportunity for him.
Wait, say that again? You think this is his best team since
Rise World War
II? Bro, I could see that. And that's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's that faded of a take if you think about it.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, Slasher's rosters started to go downhill when Arcides started to get good rosters in his career.
Bro, nah, hold on. This is also cap. Austin's been on some good fucking teams.
He has been on some great teams.
His Hunter T team was gross. He literally got to put together that
that was in
LA
BO4,
team.
and he had really good success.
Hold on. He got to put together that Optic Gaming LA team. Like
yeah,
they
that is hold on.
Have
well, on paper,
but that's not
on paper. That team was
on paper, talent wise, great, but
team.
Nah, dude, like. I
Wait, but just because the team ended up sucking, like they still had a fucking godlike team.
Yeah,
they
did.
They had a good squad, but Tom, you remember my takes when that team first got formed? Because I was
OGLA was a maybe to me was a meme, dude. Like
what was the initial LA team? What did they
that
start?
team was going to be good.
LA team, what?
Austin, Ken, Don, and who?
Teach.
Oh, they were bro. This guy's had great teams every single year except this year. Except this year.
I mean, that's a decent squad, but you know,
bro.
If you look
I think if we had our role right, we actually would have been
Austin and Tim.
This is definitely the best team he's ever joined. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Well, nah. I would say AW 2015 when he had me. That was probably the best. But this is close second. But Tom, wrap us up. Take us out,
man. Listen, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Go to Anchor.fm. Say Saran, go follow at the flank on Twitter. Gersh doing a phenomenal job, even though he did post a 30-tweet thread today. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he is the fucking ghost. So go follow at the flank on Twitter. Shout out to our special guest, the best guest of the year. Give it up to Donnie Temp. Rain, available now. YouTube exclusive only from your very own Don Don. Make sure to go check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Take care. Buzz your hand. We'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank.
Peace.